Alrighty, good evening guys. Let me push the button there. There we go. Camera will come around and here I am. Hey, good evening. Good to see you, Paul and Luke. Thank you. Thank you for visiting. Excuse me. Swallowed something the wrong way. Anyway, let's jump right in. Got a few things to talk about, and then we'll talk about some talking about. Let's see. So first up, while I'm getting set up for what's in the jam, lighting's a little bit reduced tonight because I don't have any air conditioning right now, and the studio gets really stuffy really fast. And reason I don't have air conditioning, for those who didn't see, is that I got a little over exuberant while weed whacking and managed to nick the refrigerant line for the heat pump, and all of the Freon came out right away. So they'll be out tomorrow supposedly to put everything back together for me. We'll see what happens. And noticing some glare there that I didn't see before on the screen on the Leviasynth, so we may have to make some adjustments. Hey Sean, good to see you. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at, yeah, I hate it when that happens too. I did not delete the expletives, let's put it that way. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into what was in the jam. Not much tonight. Very simple setup tonight. So let's see, in the jam, first up, I don't know why it didn't pop up, but there it is. Boom. The variation on the pulsing bass thing that I've had for the last couple of weeks. And yeah, it does the thing. And basically I just changed the way it was scanning the wavetables and opened the filters up a little bit more over last time. Yeah, open box things that don't work are not fun. So I had to, I'll tell you about after what's in the jam, I'll tell you about my most recent ordering stuff. So anyway, next up in the jam, this is from Omnisphere. Same one I used last week. Makes some interesting textures. Let's see, and then after that, doing something a little unexpected tonight with this, but let's see, this was coming out of the Hydrasynth, and I'm using the arpeggiator in the Hydrasynth, or not really the arpeggiator. Actually, I'm not using the arpeggiator for this. This one, yes, I am. I am using arpeggiator. I've been doing a lot of stuff in the Hydrasynth with sequenced kind of lines and percussive rhythmic pattern things, and so it's been back and forth between using the arpeggiator, which does those nice little ratchet things if you wanted to, and then I've also been using the Step LFO as a sequencing source on some stuff. So it's been a lot of fun to play with that. And then totally underutilized tonight, but I used the Leviasynth. Supermassive popped up, but I had actually turned that off, and so this guy was off the Leviasynth. And the mod wheel action just adds a little bit of slight detune. So that literally was everything that was in the jam tonight. So like I said, not much. Let's go away from that then. And yeah, okay, let me move myself over there like so. All right, so into the stuff. Let's see. Yeah, we'll push on that button. Get a little bit of background stuff going on. Maybe a little loud. Yep, that's a little loud. Let's turn that down. I thought I had asked in fact, I know I asked the sequencer to turn it down, but apparently not enough. So that should be about there, I think. Anyway, yeah, even more down than that. All right. Okay. Anyway, it's going to be what it's going to be. So yeah, it's beautiful sound, and you know that's very simple for Leviasynth to do. We'll get into some looking at some other neat things that it can do. Want to try and spend maybe if there's time, 25-30 minutes with each. Just kind of going through, playing around with some stuff. So let's go ahead and get through the news of the night real quick. What's going on around here? I just moments ago took delivery of a Endorphins and LoopOp Plus 3 gizmo. I haven't even opened it up yet. It just came out of the box from the seller or from the store, so I'll get into that. And that'll be set up for next week. So into the news. For those who've been following, I've been waiting for a Modal Element One, and have been kind of sort of tracking the ETA at Sweetwater, and every day, they push it off another day. Last week I talked about the realities of shipping something here from China or Hong Kong, and so they basically I did the math, and the math is that there's no way that it was going to be here when they said it was going to be here, and it was going to be at least 2 weeks after, in my judgment, as to when it would actually show up. So I checked on the website today just to see what they might have updated the ETA to, and instead of having a date now they just say June. So I think somebody got a little bit more realistic there at Sweetwater. I don't know if somebody watched this and said something or what, but who knows? I don't think I'm that influential. So anyway, as I've been moving stuff around, and the other thing about the Element One is the windows of need have been kind of sort of closing as time went by, and I'm down to at this point I don't need to have the thing or would necessarily use it for anything for another, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 weeks, So honestly, I'm kind of beginning to lose a little bit of interest. So anyway, yeah, we'll see. Again, coming from Hong Kong and China, it takes the amount of time that it takes. You bet the Model D won't make it, Paul, or that the Modal won't make it, or both. Anyway, so we'll see. We'll see what happens there. As I've been rearranging things here in the studio to make room for incoming stuff, outgoing stuff, all this kind of stuff, I've been putting more and more stuff, or finding more and more stuff has been working well, and with less headache using USB MIDI here. So I'm beginning to wonder now if my big fancy MioXL interface is necessary anymore, going to be necessary anymore. The only things using DIN MIDI right now are the XY pad that I've glommed into the Control S. Otherwise, that's on USB. So an input from that, and then the only other thing regular use is output to the Recursion Studio, and I don't currently see a need to bring any MIDI back from it. And any thoughts that I have I don't see any real need to have any MIDI coming back from that. I'm not, although it's got or going to be having the ability to control lighting, I'm not planning to use that in here. So like I said, I don't really necessarily see any need for that. And then the only other thing that I'm using 5-pin in right now is the Take 5, and that can just as happily live on USB. So I may, over the next few days, try switching all the MIDI I/O, the actual DIN MIDI I/O, to the ports on either the 16 rig, and use that as my MIDI interface as well as my audio interface, or maybe ports on go back to trying to get the ports on the Control S to work, because it's got, supposedly has a 1 in 2 out, or 2 in 1 out, or some MIDI interface on it as well, but I've just never really tried. So anyway, hopefully, over the next few days I'll start fooling with that. Not a whole lot going on here while that's during that time. So that's that update, and hopefully another simplification. And I know Luke has got thoughts on MIDI. He's from when he's in the box, it's push MIDI out and don't care about it coming back. I know that makes things less. Can be less troublesome that way, but when we get into the dinner tie, well, when we get into the Leviasynth and the Hydrasynth, I'll let you know why the interest that I do have in MIDI coming back, One Direction, wasn't that a band? A boy band or something like that. Anyway, there's a very good use for bidirectional MIDI in and out of these guys in my situation, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Let's see. Next up, I'm gonna try something here and see if this works. This could either work well or fail miserably. The Recursion Studio 4K shipping dates are nearing, and the new 4K model. And oh, by the way, I don't get no plug or no recompense for this. Just helping a friend here. Amplifying for a friend. The 4K model is shipping soon-ish, more soonish. Hey, Kurt, good to see you. And it's still on pre-order / introductory pricing at $1,600. But effective today, the Recursion Studio HD has a permanent price reduction to $899.04. And so I have, if I can get this to work, I have a little thing. So let's see what happens here. This will either work or not work. We'll cross our fingers.
Hello, and welcome to the time that you will be spending watching this video. We come to you today with news. Some of the best and sexiest news that's ever happened. News so important that you should stop everything that you are currently doing to watch this news and to hear this news with your face and brains. So put down your cell phones and your grilled cheese sandwiches. This news is so important that all of the other news has died. And I will tell you about this news immediately after I am finished telling you about the fact that I am currently telling you about the news. Are you ready for the news? The news is that, due to the fact that everybody is poor now, and because everything getting more expensive, always, all of the time, is fucking stupid, the Endorphin and Sons Recursion Studio, the Time Stream's premier almost holomorphic kaleidoscoping fractalizer, has had its price permanently reduced to $899.04. It is available for purchase at this new and sexy price from our website, at every Arby's, and can be found in 1 out of every 7,000 bags of Cool Ranch M&Ms. Why the additional 4 cents, you might ask? At Endorphin and Sons, when we are not busy regularizing inverse quasi-coherent 17-dimensional hyperschemes, we're busy being champions of justice, equality, and charge time parity all throughout the metacosmos. For every purchase of the Endorphin and Sons Recursion Studio, the Time Stream's premier almost holomorphic kaleidoscoping fractalizer, Endorphin and Sons will donate 4 cents to Zoe's Fund. A fund set up to compensate the primordial black hole survivors who were victims of space Trump. Yes, we also have one. Everything is terrible here too. But here at Endorphin and Sons, we're committed to doing what we can to make your strange world a little less terrible. Your strange, smelly world. So don't wait, while this news is fresh and all of the other news is still dead, buy one today. Endorphin and Sons. Bringing you tomorrow's yesterday, today.
So anyway, just a little silliness there. Just like I said, helping out a friend. And, you know, hey, we'll see how many dislikes and leaving the channel and all that kind of stuff I get. I think it was funny. So anyway, like I said, and like the lady said, it's the HD Recursion Studio, which is the one I use now, has been price reduced, and the new ones will be shipping within a few weeks. So anyway, I thought it was fun. So other changes or stuff here, moving right along. I'm moving my music sales, as much of it as I do. My current releases are on Bandcamp, and there's a link for that below. And I'm moving new releases to a new platform called Subvert.fm. There's a link for that below. Yeah, well, you know. So anyway, everything that's on Bandcamp now will remain on Bandcamp. That way people who have purchased on Bandcamp will still have full access to all their purchases. But I'm just going to be releasing new stuff on Subvert. There are a few reasons. Nothing necessarily against Bandcamp per se. But I think the Subvert is a little more artist friendly, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. But that's the new That's where all the new stuff, where new stuff will go, and the site is active there. And there's one new piece of music on there from, which is the my drone piece from my drone performance from. Yeah, it would be really bad, Kurt. So anyway, well, Bandcamp still honor warranty work. I didn't know that my songs were broken, but you know what? Anything's possible. Anyway, let's get into the stuff we're actually here for. I promised. Oh, gee, look at that nasty. Oh, thank you, Paul. I left that box. So I ordered this thing from Perfect Circuit, and it came in this large box, and I'm like, why the heck do they need such a big box for such a little thing? Well, what they ended up doing was also shipping my last 2 orders along with it. I already received my last 2 orders, one of them months ago. So anyway, I'll be writing them an email this evening and see what they want done. But you know, anyway, so that's I think that's it for news. Let's get into the reason we're here. Like I said, I wanted to spend 25 minutes or so each with each of the new ASM synths. I'll just say these things are on fire. I mean, just wow. For those who don't know, when I bought the Polybrute, the thing that was actually in the plan was to get a Hydrasynth Deluxe. And I am seriously wishing I had done that. Not that I don't like the Polybrute, it's a wonderful instrument. But the Hydrasynth is, and the Leviasynth too, they're both simply amazing instruments. The depth is just, it's deep. I mean, it's in there. There's about a million things in every one of them, and I've only barely begun to scratch the surface on them. But as I was saying earlier, I have been fooling around, and so let's take a look at some of the stuff. I'm going to go ahead and ask the camera to go close, or one of the cameras to go close in on the Hydrasynth. Let's start with that one that we're not looking at right now. And let's see. It always takes more time than I think it does to get over there, but let's see what we got. Are we there yet? Hey, we're there. All right, cool. So let's see. I am fighting a little bit of ergonomics and feng shui, if you will, with the studio at the moment. It's a little hard to reach between the keyboard controller and here, and I'm not necessarily super digging the pads, to be honest. Let's do this too. Let's kill Supermassive. Both of these things do have a little bit of a weakness, and that is the reverb and delay. And so I've been using Valhalla's Supermassive behind them a bit. Let's see. Let's get that set up. I'm going to switch the control input for the Hydrasynth to be able to listen to the key step. Okay, there it is. Good. So I did a video the other day. I posted the other day. It's not linked below at the moment. No, it's not fabulous. It tends. Well, let me pull up a particular patch and here, and Yeah, so I've got this is the patch that I used for the drone, and I am going to go back to the other keyboard for this while I'm playing it. I've got a lot of different controls. Now, let me go ahead and pull this out and go ahead and get the regular shot set up here. Let's see. Stand by a sec. Let me do this, and I'll come back here for a minute, and so you guys don't get to have to watch the camera spinning all over the place. Let's have that guy come down here, and I don't have a preview monitor for it at the moment, but oh, what the heck, here we go. So that should be getting around to looking down here. It is good. So I have set up in the Hydrasynth, I have it set up so that the 8 knobs here control the 8 macro knobs on the Hydrasynth. And I'm going to get the Hydrasynth pulled up on the other camera real quick. And let's go to that shot. Okay, so I've got these knobs set up to control the 8 macro knobs. And here's where the, real quick, here's where the reverse of the reverse MIDI comes in. I am set up here so that I can control the 8 macro knobs from the Control S. I can also, if I turn one of the knobs here, and let's see, can I get a closer shot of this? I used to have a really tight shot. Let's see if this is close enough. Nope, that's not it. That's worse. All right, I used to have a really tight shot. Let me just make a tight shot real quick. Because I want you to be able to see what's going on the Control S when I do. Whoops, wrong camera. Dummy. Go back there. I hate when I do stupid stuff. You go back there. To cam. Come on. I'm in a fight with my camera controller. Okay, camera 2, that's the one that looks down. All right, so let's zoom in and pan right a little bit and tilt up a little bit. Okay, you can sort of see what's going on there. So the Hydra's, the Hydra's really, it's really good, but they're just, anyway, so where I'm going here, I can, I've got 8 things defined here, and I actually have a preset that puts the names of these things on the panel. But the point is that as I turn macro 1 here, if you look closely, you can see that this knob is being turned from the Hydrasynth. And I can, let's see, do that. So you can see as I'm turning the knob on the macro knobs on the Hydrasynth, it's feeding back to the keyboard so that if I do something over here and then come over here, I don't get a jump when I play. It's all very smooth and very connected. One thing though that doesn't happen that I wish that would is I wish that when I loaded a patch or a preset in the Hydrasynth that it would transmit the positions of these knobs. That would be really, really helpful. But as it is, I do have it set. I can have the DAW load the patch for me and be ready to go, mostly ready to go. So let's see. the way this patch works, there are a whole bunch of things going on. I am not using, for this, even for the sequenced parts though, in this, I am not using the arpeggiator or the sequencer. This is into those stepped LFOs that I was talking about earlier, and I'll show you those in a couple minutes. So what I'm trying to get it to do is do what annoyed me in the reverb before I did the drone show. Let's see. I'm going to try and bring what I'm going to try and do is the reverb tails on this are huge. If you listen closely to the reverb, it tends to get very metallic. Anyway, a little hard to tell, but it's not. I'm not hearing it as much today as I noticed it on Saturday. But I was definitely hearing on Saturday that in certain instances, the reverb and delay sounded really pretty metallic. And I was trying to use the reverb that is there. It's what they call cloud. Which is supposed to be a very light reverb. But anyway, that's my only disappointment those are my only disappointments with the ASMs is the I think the reverb could be a little more pleasing, and I wish they would send data back from the when you load a patch. So anyway, I'll go ahead and walk through this. This is a fairly complex patch. Where to begin? So let's go ahead. First thing we'll do, let's get that camera up full. And let's get that camera up full. There it is. It's there. Okay. Right now I'm monitoring on the replay out of YouTube, so it's behind. So the synth itself is very straightforward, oh, put that back up. So there's a lot. Looks like there's a lot going on, and there is, but the synth is really pretty straightforward. Basically, you've got, and I equate a lot of this, a lot of what we'll talk about, to Vital. To be honest with you. So you've got two oscillators, and each oscillator you have three oscillators total, but two of which each have two mutants. And so if you compare that to Vital, that's very much like having these two oscillators feed through these guys. So these, you can think of these guys that you can pull up here as they're very, very similar to, in concept and use, to the mutants in the Hydrasynth. And that's part of what made it, another part of what made it so easy for me to just say, oh, that's how this thing works. So anyway, you go through those. The third oscillator does not have any mutants. There's also a ring modulator and noise source down here. Those all go through the mixer, through the two filters, which can be series or parallel, just like Vital. And then you're into the amp stages and effects. So it really is a lot like Vital. And then the layout here on the panel, as I said a few weeks ago, is bears a striking resemblance to old and sonic synths. And as it turns out, that was indeed an influence in the design. I'm not going to go through every module because we'll be here all night. But the oscillators are pretty deep. Unfortunately, there's no software that I can load up and show this to you. But the oscillators are pretty good, pretty deep. Can't see, it's too small. Tao, good to see you. It is, yeah, it's not. It's surprisingly, it's deep, but it's not super complex. It's really very approachable. So you know, each oscillator has a couple of modes. It can either be a single waveform, or it can be a wave scan, a wavetable wave scan scenario. And you can have 8 waveforms in a wave scan and move through them. Then you select your wave, what octave you want it to be in, and tuning, and bit reduction if you want to use it, and key tracking. That's an oscillator. You know, and it gets, I got wave scan in the other oscillator here. And I know it's a little hard to see, especially if you're watching on something small. But in the wave scan, if you go into wave edit, you basically load up the waves that you want in each of these slots. And then once you've done that, then you can scan across them. So like right now I've got, let's go back in there, Sawtooth, and then something called Horizon 1, Esquire 3, which is basically out of the ESQ, and then a few others that I've got here. There are some synclavier types, and so a good variety of waves. There's 219 waves in the thing. So I've got these set up. Let's do this. I'm going to go to the mixer real quick, and I'm going to solo oscillator 2. And we'll see what this does. There's so much stuff cross-modulated in this patch that it may or may not respond in a reasonable manner. But okay, let's go ahead and listen to that, and I'll manually scan through the waves. There we go. I still have all the effects on, obviously. And of course, that can be modulated by any number of means. It can be aftertouch, or an LFO, or envelopes. So on the Hydrasynth, you have 5 LFOs, 5 envelopes. The envelopes can loop. The LFOs can one-shot. So basically you have 10 envelopos, the way I would call it. And so making a patch on this thing, I mean, if we go in here, go to init gets you a saw. Yeah, I'll build a patch real quick. It won't be anything fancy, but we'll build a patch real quick. So let's see, let's go to the mixer. The only oscillator turned on right now is, is oscillator 1. It's turned up all the way. I'm actually going to back it off a little bit. One of the things about these guys is you do have to pay attention to gain staging within the synth, because you can overdrive, and it gets unpretty when you overdrive unless you're looking for noise. But you can distort pretty. You can get into distortion. And I want to get where I can see chat a little better. Well, random, but then you don't know what's going on. So oscillator 1, I've got oscillator 1 up. Everything else is turned down. Oscillator. So let's go ahead and go to the oscillator 1 module. Let's go ahead, keep things simple to start. We'll make this a single waveform, but let's choose an interesting one. One with turn it down just a little bit while I'm working. All right, so that's relatively interesting. Let's drop it down an octave. Why not? All right. Go ahead and get into mutants. Play with mutants. There are a whole bunch of different mutants from FM, different types of FM. There's wave stacking, which is essentially like a super saw kind of thing. We've got oscillator sync. Oops. If I hold shift and the knob, then I can get finer control or stepped control, depending on what you're working on. Let's see what else we got. We got pulse width modulation. And you can pulse width modulate anything. Actually, it's down. I don't want to be down that octave for that kind of stuff. So let's come back up. You got a pulse width squeeze. And all of these can be mixed. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. That's interesting. And not necessarily, Paul. As an example, let's see. I'm trying to think what the equivalent would be to doing that in Vital to show you what happens. But you can. It changes the relationship of things. It's really the only way to say it. I tell you what, let's do this. Let's run this. We're working with S2. Let's go back to sine. I don't know if this will show me exactly what it's doing or not. Okay, so we're going to pulse width modulate a sine wave. Sort of shows you what's going on. So that's what happens if you pulse width modulate a sine wave. So it's definitely a thing it's not what you expect necessarily, but it's a thing. Let's go back to that. So anyway, squeeze, and then they've got their own special sauce version. I'm not sure exactly what the sauce is. Oh, I know what it is. So this one, you can actually change the amount of the warp in each warp point, and there's 8 warp points, and you can move between them. So like I could say, I could get extreme and not so extreme and none, and I'm just kind of setting stuff randomly. I could randomize. By the way, I could randomize this page alone if I can remember how. There's a way that I can modulate, randomize just this page. So that's a bit much, but let's see. And let's go back to a simple waveform here. The only thing that, by that definition, then Paul, the only thing that doesn't have a pulse is DC. If you're going to say a sine has a pulse, then everything has a pulse except for pure DC or zero deflection. So anyway, there's also dead current. This is the harmonic mode, which I haven't fooled with yet. Now, this one won't work on a sine wave because there's no harmonics. So let's go back to our Esquire 3. I'll eventually settle on something that sounds interesting and have phase differential, and there's all kinds of. And some of them make them get loud. So that's it. That's all of the different. Can't have harmonics in a pure tone. Sine's a pure tone. Second mutant, you got a second mutant. You can do all, stack this on top. And this linear FM, you have different sources. So I can source a sine, this triangle, oscillator 1, so it can FM itself. Oscillator 2 or 3, the ring modulator, the noise, the mutants, or the two modulation inputs on the for the CV inputs, and you can. I think this version you can. I think you can actually put audio into those things. I know you can put audio into them on the Leviasynth. Yes, fundamental, pure tone. No harmonics. All right, so anyway, we can start modulating these things. So, because that's, we haven't even got, oh, by the way, we haven't even gotten to the filters yet. You're basic, but and another way to look at that, Paul, you're actually there's a way. There's a no, I'm not going to get into it. Other parallels get too weird. So let's see. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and move into the first filter. The first filter is kind of, there's a whole bunch of different filters, including a Steiner. There's a 12. There's Steiner filters, high pass and low band pass and low pass, various different low passes, and something called a vowel filter, vowel filter. So let's go ahead and just grab a fairly normal filter here. We'll go to the fat low pass 24. And let's give it some LFO. A couple different ways to add LFO. There's a hardwire from LFO 1 into the filters. Let's go ahead and get a nice shape on in a slow rate. We'll leave it free running. Have it fade in over time. And let's see. Yeah, quantization is off, so it's free running. That'll work. Nice and subtle. I'm also going to bring some envelope into it. So let's do filter envelope, and let's go ahead and give that kind of a ramp up, and then bring it back down, just the usual kind of, do a little bit of hold at the top. So now if the envelope is taking control and move the filter, you can get some movement out of the, here's some more movement in the LFO as well. Might be a little deep. Let's bring the sustain back up some. All right, we'll take that. That sounds reasonably good. All right, so Tal. Hey George, good to see you. All right, so Tal says can't create your own ARP phrases on the Hydrasynth. So let's create some ARP phrases on the Leviasynth. There's a tricky way to do it. I'm going to take LFO 5 and I'm going to make it a step sequence, a step LFO. And let's see. Let's make it. We can make it 8 steps. That's fine. We will quantize it. Actually, not there. Where is it? Where is it? Let's turn semi-lock on. Okay, so now we've got this set. It will do semitones. So if we come back up in here, where is it? Sorry, edit step here. So now we can say we want our first step to be up 5 semitones, say, and then our second step to be. Actually, we'll make our first step the root. Second step will go up 5 semitones, and then we can come down to 2 below and go up 7 semitones, and then we'll go up the octave, and then back down to down 4, and back to 0, and leave the last 2 and come 1 semitone at the end. So now if I take this, this and I apply this to, see, this was LFO 5. So if I apply this to oscillator 1 pitch and set the depth at 128, I now have, I should have, why didn't it not run? LFO 5, that's the one I was working on, right? Step, no fade. BPM sync, well, we can turn that. Oh, I know what's part of what's going on. Turn BPM sync on, the transport is running. And where is it? Where I want to go? Why is it not going? What did I not do right? One shot is off. Quantize is off. Smooth steps is 8. Levels at 128. Mod matrix. Yep, it should be doing oscillator 1 pitch all the way. What did I missed something. There's a this works because I've done 3 or 4 patches doing it. Oh, it's not fast enough. That's all. I wasn't going very fast, that's all. My rate's quarter notes. So if I turn this up to, 16ths. Now the tricky part is that they don't necessarily start together. So, but you can get an arpeggiation, and we'll put that in air quotes. By using the step LFO. So let's see. I will tell you, I bought this one on Reverb, and I paid well under $600 for it. So they're you can get them at reasonable prices. I think it was just a little over $600 with the shipping and tax. So, and mine came from Chicago, actually. Let's see, where's the thing? Semitone lock on. Somewhere here. BPM sync is on. Now, anyway, that's how you get a pseudo kind of arpeggiator with that you can design your own instead of using the ones that they have. So let's go ahead and leave that way, and we'll go ahead and I'm going to set oscillator 2 to solo, and we'll set something up real quick in oscillator 2. Let's do a wave scan. So we'll go ahead and edit the wave list. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of cheat. If I hold shift here and turn this, it will change them all in related groups. Yeah, so it worked out about the same. I think that's a fine deal. Let's see, these horizon ones sound nice. Okay, so I've got, basically I just cheated and loaded up 8 wavetables all at once, or waveforms all at once in a kind of related sounding wave. So they'll sound like mixer, turn the volume up. So we can go ahead and let's throw an envelope at that. I'll start with envelope 5. And I'm going to take envelope 5 to oscillator 2. Whoops, wrong control. Wave scan here. You can't see it because the text is over, but you can just basically to set a patching, you hold the source and the destination, it pops you right into the mod matrix, and you just tune the particulars. So I'm going to set that up to go all the way, and then back to envelope 5, we're going to do a slow. And these times on the attacks and like I can do a 36-second attack here, which is ridiculous. But for now, we'll just do like 4 seconds, and we'll decay. The decay will also be about 4 seconds, and we'll bring the sustain down there somewhere, and then we'll do the release. You can go in and you can shape the curves however you want. And here's where you can say, free run or loop it, or that. We're not going to do any of that. And then there's multiple trigger sources that you can set. I'm going to bring this filter down a little bit more. And right now, see, the filter routing is set in the mixer. Right now they're set in series. I could set them in parallel and then route oscillator 2 to 1 filter. In fact, let's do that. Let's go ahead and set that to parallel. And then back up here, I can say oscillator 1 is going to 100% to filter 1 and 0 to filter 2. And oscillator 2 will make it go, whoops, that was pan. I do grab the wrong knobs every once in a while. We'll take that and spin that one all the way over to the other filter. We can go into filter 2. And your filter types are limited in filter 2. You either get a morphing low pass, band pass, high pass, or morphing low pass, band reject, high pass. So we're going to use I'm going to set it for low pass. I say I'm going to set it for low pass. Morph it the other way. There we go. Maybe a little bit of resonance. Give it some of that, a little bit of that envelope that we set up before for the filter, and a little bit of the LFO. And while we're at this, we might as well go ahead and make this a pad, because that's how I roll. Envelope 2 is hardwired to the amp initially, so we'll give it maybe 4 seconds of attack, 6 seconds of decay, sustain down just a little, long release, longish release. Do have to be careful because I've only got 8 voices here, and stealing does get ugly when it steals. That should be good enough. So let's see. Into the amp, LF, so I want, there we go. So anyway, it's that easy. This would have taken me about half this amount of time if I weren't also talking about it while I was doing it. So this is it's a real easy synth to work with. Finish up, we'll go ahead and throw some effects on it real quick. We'll give it some, let's give it chorus. Just use the regular chorus. It's probably set up fine the way it is. And we will throw that into a delay. Let's go ahead and we'll make it a left, right, center delay. We will beat sync it, make it eighth, make it quarter note dots, blah, 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 blah. Give it some wet. So you heard, if I've got a bunch of voices going here, and I hit another note, hear it grab. So that's kind of what the voice stealing can do. You just have to kind of plan for it. So let's see, reverb, we'll turn on some of that. I'll set it for cloud, that I think is the best sounding one. We'll give it about 5 seconds and about 40%. See here what happens when I make a big chord and then grab another one. But if you stick to simple stuff, you know, like do a fifth and root, so you only got a couple 3 notes sounding at a time. And then I'm going to put Luke's least favorite effect on the tail end of this thing because I can. And because I think the lo-fi thing on this sounds pretty good. I'm going to make it only minorly effective. There we go. All right, so that's how quick and easy it is to build a pad in a Hydrasynth that sounds reasonably interesting. The Leviasynth gets more interesting, and I'm going to go real quick because it's getting late. Of course, this takes longer than I had hoped it would. Oh, I'm on camera one. Shoot. Let's take that. Yeah, that's not looking at anything useful either. Okay, well, we'll just do it. Boom, boom, boom. There it goes. So Leviasynth has got its own amazing depth, and that's really the only way I can describe it. Is it's just an amazingly deep thing. This thing that I was playing tonight does so little to really show it off. It just sounds really good. Okay, so I did some patches in this too. Just have to remember where they are. Let's see. I am going to spin around till I find one of mine. Where did I put mine? Huh. Oh, I'm in a browser mode, that's why. Browse. Let's get, yeah, let's reset the search. That's why I can't find anything. Let's see. Go by sound designer. And it did not take my name. Bummer. Maybe it's in that one. Yep, there we go. I mean your name here. I have to change that somehow. Okay, so this is a touchscreen I keep forgetting too. There we go. I believe in here I made use of, oh yeah, having the two of them stacked. Yeah, having the two of them stacked is, yeah, that looks dead sexy. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. That just looks sexy. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Hydrasynth. Similar at the Leviasynth, get up there. Similar layout, similar concept as far as the, did that thing come into focus? There it goes. And yeah, that glare is bad. Let me take care of that glare real quick. Boop-de-doo, doo-doop-de-doop-de-doo. There's an app for that. And go into the lighting, and this is called Modular. And it says it's offline, but there we go. That did not kill the glare at all. Great. All right. Well. All right. Well, bummer. Let's see if I can tilt it. I can't twist it enough to get that going. It looks great to me where I can see it. Maybe if I hit it with the other camera. Boom, boom. And go to that. There's no glare, but you can't see quite as well. Anyway, let's see. So, same kind of concept, sort of. We have our oscillators down here. There's 8 of them. When you get through your digital filter into your analog filter, that's always in series. Amp, effects. So same basic kind of, conceptually the same basic kind of layout. Okay, I know I hit the button for Leviasynth. Let's try that again. Okay, so oscillators, there's 8 of them. We'll get to these buttons in a second. Digital filter into analog filter through the amp, and then your effects. You have the same complement of 5 envelopes and 5 LFOs, but the difference is that in Leviasynth, each oscillator also has its own internal envelope. So if I go into oscillator 1, for instance, page after page, but we can choose our waveform, where it's semitone and detune, its initial level, whether it's soloed or muted, the envelope level, and that's for the internal envelope, feedback and key tracking. Remember, this is what's called an algorithmic synthesizer. So in a nutshell, it's like Super FM. And real quick, we'll look at get an idea of what the algorithms look like. I'm in morph mode on this, so I'll break the patch long enough to change the mode to single. And so basically you've got a bazillion different algorithms, from basic FM style, but I'm not going to say basic FM, although you can do basic FM with this if you want. Every oscillator, when you get into the, let me put this back where it was. Whoops. And you can also build your own algorithms if you want. I haven't even started to look at that. The thing that really got me excited about this is, if you see, I've got four algorithms here, and I can morph between them. So let's see what this, I don't know what this is going to sound like, but so there's our basic sound. And as I do this, the synth rewires itself. So it's completely rearranging the way all the operators work. And you can have up to 8 algorithms. I've only got 4 on this one. So, you guys know me. If it says morph, I'm there, and this is a true morph. Now, there are limitations to the morph, and like I said, I've just started to get into this thing, so I know about that. Where's the camera looking? That much about it. I've got enough to make a couple of noises with it, and that's it. So in the patch, I think I have this on Aftertouch. Got something on Aftertouch. So another thing you can do is you can go in and you can edit things in groups. So if I want, or look at things in groups, if I want to see, if I want to see what wave is the base wave in each one of the oscillators is, hit the wave button. It shows me all 8 of the oscillators. And then if I want to go in to look at a particular oscillator, I just tap it. Supposedly, oh, that's changing them. So I can change them here too. Like this one's a saw, I can make it whatever I want it to be. And there's a bazillion waves. Some of them are the same waves that are in Hydrasynth, and then there's a whole bunch more. I can't remember how many there are. There's a whole load. Boom. So, and like I said, you can morph through these things, and you can also modulate I think you can modulate what wave is in the table. I would be surprised if you can't. I'm not even sure how I would go about doing that, but I would bet, let's see. Go into the mod matrix. These things are so simple to get around. Let's find an empty spot here, and let's make my source. It's a touch screen, and it's a good one. Let's make my source LFO5 just to get through this. What we're going to attack oscillator 1. Is that where we're going to do this? No, I'm not sure where we're going to do this. It's the oscillators, filters. You can modulate the modulators, things in the mod matrix, algorithm. Let's see. So it looks like I can, the heck would that do? Let's just turn it up some and see what happens. This is exploration, and that's what's it's just like a synthesis exploration sandbox. You just, get in the sandbox and play. And I have no idea what that's doing. Because I've got the mod wheel already doing. Oh, and you can go positive and negative on everything too. Oh, that's another interesting thing about both of these synths. Speaking of positive and negative, let's. Just basically turn that to 0 so it's not doing anything. If you look at the LFO, I've got LFOs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are bipolar this way. And again, I apologize, it's hard to see. So those are bipolar. When you get up to the top of the fifth LFO, you start getting LFO plus. And so that is single pole. It only goes positive. So that's a, what else we got here? So anyway, so you can do you can do, word left my head. Anyway, you can do bipolar and monopolar LFOs, which is really cool. The envelope, you achieve that with the envelope by taking its amount negative, which you can do as well. If you take a regular LFO and take its amount negative, it just flips the LFO. SM cowbell. Oh, God. So here's another thing that you can do, and again, hard to see because my finger's probably somewhat in the way. But in the, when you get through the modulation sources, the individual oscillators envelopes are also available as modulation sources for anything in the synth that is modulatable. So in effect, then you have 13 envelopes to play with. Jeez. Oh man, yeah, we're keeping politically incorrect tonight, aren't we? Right from the start. So anyway, all this just thing after thing after thing, and of course it's fully MPE excitable. You can actually route the expression pedal and even the sustain pedal to wherever you want it. And then, you've got the two modulation inputs again. And with this camera, even with my hand up here, you can't really see what I'm doing. Then, 128 different, or however many CCs you can go through. And yeah, that's the end of the list, through the 127 cc or 128 cc's. So I mean, the modulation possibilities on this are just incredible. So with the ability to do, when you get into into the algorithms are made up of the oscillators. So when you're looking at that, when you get into the fact that every oscillator is an operator in the algorithm, and you're not just limited to sines and regular waves in the algorithms, my head starts to melt. Anyway, it is 9:30. And as usual, we don't get through everything we want. I need more time to really learn this guy and be able to talk more intelligently about it. But it is just It is such a fun instrument. And let me get this back up. Come on. Really? Guess I waited too long. So let me get this thing back the way it was at the start of the night. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I did. So go ahead and... One of the other things that I did, I'm kind of proud of this, it's real simple to set up the controls. I did, and I did a video on that. No, I didn't do the video on that. I haven't done the video on that yet. What I did the video on was just getting them to talk easily, and how to send patch information to the Leviasynth and the Hydrasynth. So basically, I can just go ahead and I can reload where I was to begin with. And pretty much be ready to do my outro jam. So anyway, guys, let's see, back to there. And I do appreciate you stopping by tonight. It's late, and without the AC, it's getting really warm here in the studio, even with the reduced lights. So I am going to crawl away, and thank you all for coming, and hope I will see you, let's see, I should see you next week. I think the week after I'm going to be away, but yeah, I should be here next week. May pop up once or twice during the week, just playing around with the Hydrasynth or the Leviasynth or both, just whatever I feel like getting into. So, and hopefully by Tuesday afternoon, I should have air conditioning back. They're coming out to work on that on Tuesday. So anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. You all have a great night, and I will see you next week, I think. Yep, see you next week. I do have to pop back in for one thing here real quick, because, let me get the camera back up. I do have to pop in back for one thing real quick. There was some comments in the Discord, and someone was going to wait to hear my comments on the Leviasynth, and I have a little list that I forgot to go through. So I'm going to stop that and start that instead. And so just a couple notes that I didn't cover while I was talking, and then I will let you all go. First up, morphing the algorithms works a little differently than I expected, but it does work really cool. Nothing really changes within the oscillators during the morph, just the arrangement of them, as near as I can tell. And it does, when you're morphing those algorithms, it doesn't switch. It does actually move the things, and the relationships do change in time, which is really cool. If you want something within an oscillator to change during the morph, you're going to need to modulate that within the mod matrix or through a macro or both. Just like I said about the Hydrasynth, the weak spot may be the delay in the reverb. The reverb can get metallic, as I said. So, I tend to, as I did tonight and during the jam on the other day, I tend to follow them up with something like Supermassive, which glues it all together really nice. Anyway, that was it. If you're on the fence about a Leviasynth, and I would say that it is worth every penny, and that but be prepared to spend a lot of time. It actually comes, the ASM synths actually come with a real printed manual. It is very good. It's very well written. and it covers everything, including it actually gives you actual note detail on what's going on in the phrases for the arpeggiator / sequencer. So there's, it'll tell you exactly what you're getting. And you have the same ability to do the stepped LFO if you want to do some wild stuff. I'm just going to see if there's any other things I need to hit. I think that's it. Again, thanks guys. I will see you all next week, and we'll have some more fun with whatever strikes my fancy. So again, have a great week guys. We'll see you.